Okay. All right, so let me come back to this and see if I don't know if I can zoom in much more. All right, so the things that we're going to see on the payroll register, the period, there's actually 2 dates, right? There's the end of the period and the actual day we pay them. Okay, most of the time those are going to be the same, but there could be kind of in reality, there could be a difference, right? Because it'd be hard to figure out if you have somebody that works till midnight, right, on the 15th, to get their pay check to them still on the 15th, right? Because you don't have their hours. So sometimes you may see a little difference here, but in our simplistic accounting 1 class world, those are pretty much the same, okay? Of course, every employee's name, they have an identifying number. We need to know if they're married or single, and we need to know how much their allowances were, okay? And with that information, we can figure out the tax in the tax tables according to their total earnings. Oh, it's too small. All right, total earnings. So you have your regular pay, your overtime pay, and this is something you definitely want to keep track of too, so that you know, hey, we're paying way too much in overtime. Maybe we need to hire another person, something like that, right? Decisions can be made. Then we'll go to the tables to find the federal income tax. This is a percent. This is a percent. This would be a given amount, and then we have a total for deductions. Okay, and then we take the total earnings minus the total deductions to figure out the net pay, which is what the employee gets to take home. And then in this last column, we keep track of what check number we use to write them their check. Okay. All right, so that's basically what we're doing here is we're taking all the information that we've already calculated and just getting it into this payroll register where it's all there for everybody in our department. Okay, but we also have to keep track of each individual person and how much we've paid them, okay? So we're gonna have to put all that information in the payroll register, but we're also going to have to break that down and have a separate record for every person, okay? And that is going to be every paycheck that we've paid them, because we need to keep track of it for the whole year. We need to know at the end of the year how much we paid them for the whole year, how much we pulled out in taxes, how much we pulled out for Social Security. Okay, so we've got information we calculated, we make sure it gets in the payroll register, and then we basically duplicate that into their specific earnings record. So this record right here is just for John Butler. All of these name numbers just got moved down to here for this pay period. Okay. All right. So let's see what it says on instructions. We need to complete the payroll register. It's semi-monthly. We ended on July 15th. We're going to use the tables to find the tax. So 6.2 is Social Security tax, 1.45 is Medicare tax. We're going to round to the pennies, 2 pennies. Neither employee has reached the tax base on Social Security, so we're still going to be pulling that out. It tells us that we need to hold $60 out for health insurance and $15 out for a Roth IRA. What's a Roth IRA? Anybody know? Any guesses? What's the other thing we've talked about besides health insurance that we pull out? Retirement, okay? So a Roth IRA is a type of retirement account. Okay. So this statement right here, the voluntary deductions are not eligible to be deducted from the total earnings to calculate payroll tax. That really has nothing to do with what we're doing, but it's really important to know that oh wait, let me look at something. Oh yeah, so what they have, there's a thing called a cafeteria plan, okay? And a cafeteria plan means that the IRS lets you add some things to your deduction before you pay taxes, okay? So like for us as a teacher, I can, as long as I follow the rules and I get signed up when I'm supposed to get signed up, my health insurance and some of my other insurances can come off my paycheck before I go to the tax tables, before they go to the tax tables to figure out what my tax is. Okay, so basically they're letting me use my payments for insurance to reduce my pay before it gets taxed. Do y'all see the advantage in that? Right, so I'm not getting taxed on as much. So there's sometimes that if you hear cafeteria plan, that's what that means. I don't really know why they call it the cafeteria plan. I guess because you can pick and choose what goes on there, right? But sometimes you can get some of your deductions to come off before taxes get applied. They're just saying that that's not happening here, okay? All right, and then we're gonna total all of them, and then we're gonna enter information into one person's earnings records. Okay, and it's got that information there. All right. So let's see if I can get this on here. So basically to define what a payroll register is, it's going to include all the employees for one pay period. And I said this is kind of a more official document because businesses, maybe not this document, but they're going to pull information. Businesses must send quarterly reports to the IRS. Okay, and like I said, the information comes off of these documents that we're working on now. All right, so to start filling this out, we need to put our dates in. It told us that our pay date was July 15th. Or the end of our period is July 15th, and that's actually our pay date too. Okay, and they actually give us this calculation already done. Whoops, I need to, I guess, zoom out. Y'all tell me if that needs to be zoomed in some more. How are y'all in here? You'll see that okay? Okay. So they've got this part done for us. So now we are looking to calculate the deductions. The federal income tax, remember that all of these are based off of total earnings, right? So federal income tax based off the total earnings, taking into consideration their marital status and their allowances. So if they're married, 2 allowances, and there's our pay. We got to go back to those tables. All right, so married, 2 allowances, and we're at $1432.50. So $1432 is going to fall in between $1420 and $1440, and we're going to go over to 2. I need my ruler. to 2 deductions, so that's 61. Okay, and actually, while we've got the book open, let's go ahead and do Janice. So single one, so I gotta flip back to the single table. 1 deduction, 971. So 971 is gonna fall right there with 1 deduction, so 76 right there. Okay. All right, so this information came from the tables. The next thing is Social Security tax, and this is 6.2%. Okay, and Medicare was 1.45%. And both of these are taken off of total earnings. They're times total earnings. Okay, so okay, still using this amount, total earnings, 1432.50 times 6.2%. Okay, so answer is 88,815, right? So we got to do the rounding. Always get it down to 2. Always get it down to 2 before you recalculate. Okay, don't let that number sit in your calculator and then go back and use it. We need to get it to 82. Okay, remember that. 8882. Okay, Medicare is 1.45%. So again, we're still calculating based off total earnings. Okay, so this is 27,725, so just rounding to 2077. So the pennies are important. If y'all know that in our online grading program, right? If you're off a penny, is it going to count it right? No. All right, and then you know, there are times that maybe a company doesn't care if it's a couple pennies off. But I remember my mom worked for a company one time that if they were a penny off, they had to go find it. Right? So they had to go back and go through all the documents to figure out where that penny went wrong. Okay? So this is accounting. It's about being detailed. So take care of your pennies. All right? Be sure you're as accurate as you can be. All right. Oh, I didn't even put that in the right spot. That would have really screwed things up, huh? Did y'all catch it and just not tell me? Or you're just following along? Yeah, think about it while we're going through this. Okay, it tells us what health insurance is, which is 60. And the retirement is 15. Okay, and then we're going to find total deductions. All right, so this is kind of its own, you can see that there's double lines here and here because it's kind of its own little section. Okay, so now we're going to add just the deductions up. 61 plus 88, 82 plus 20, 37 plus 60 plus 15. You got to be able to read your own writing. So 245 in all these little bitty boxes. I know that's hard sometimes. I know it's hard for me. 245.59. Okay, And then we're going to have total earnings minus total deductions to get net pay. So 1432.50 minus 24559 equals 118691. Okay, so this is total earnings minus total deductions. Okay, go ahead and do Janice real quick. Insurance, retirement plan's the same. Just get the calculations in for Social Security and Medicare, and get the totals in for net pay. I'm going to ask some of you guys for answers, so. Make sure you got them. What, also while you're doing that, I'm going to do attendance. So y'all turn your cameras on real quick. Cameron right there. All right, so let's see. Anybody want to volunteer a number for Janice's Social Security tax?
60-25.
60, 25. Good. Who was that? Matthew? Good job. All right. And what about Medicare tax?
1410.
1410. Does everybody have 1410? Do y'all have 1410?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Let me check something because mine actually has something written down different. 971.75 times. See, this is what I'm getting.
That's what I got, Miss Martin.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that penny we're talking about, right? So that one we're not rounding. So really that one should be 1409, unless there's something else going on. Are we good with that? 1409, is that right? Other people get 1409? Did anybody else get 1410?
I got 1409, but I rounded it.
Yeah, Sam. I got what you got, but then I rounded it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just want to make, I mean, it's just, we're looking at the third decimal to round, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. All right, then of course these are given, right? 60 and 15. So what's total deductions?
225.34.
Whoop, not there. 225.34. Very good. And net pay.
$746.41.
All right. Okay, so in this little example, we just have the 2 employees. And now we're going to total it up, okay? Because we need to know the totals to be able to write checks and to journalize all of our entries, okay? So, gonna rule it all the way across, and then we need to add down, okay? Every column needs to be added down, okay? So, I don't know, for time's sake, I guess I'll do it for you, okay? Because I've already got them written down. So 1320 plus 920, as long as I can read my writing. 22.
Miss Martin, it disconnected.
Oh, the camera. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I wonder if I'm taking it. No. Oh, that would be really bad if this thing just died. Let me go check my plugs. Oh, here it comes. Okay, we're back. Okay, 2240. Total overtime, 164.25. Total earnings, 2404. $25. Total taxes, 137. Social Security, 149.07. Medicare, 34.86. Health insurance, 120. Retirement, 30. Total, 470. 93. And total earnings, 1933. 32. Can you see all those? You got them in? Okay. So it also says in your instructions to total the amounts and approve the payroll register. So when we did proving journals, it was making sure debits equal credits. Okay. So to prove the payroll register, we're going to make sure that total earnings equals total deductions plus net pay. Okay. And so we need to prove and roll. And to do that, we're going to make sure that total earnings equals total deductions plus net pay. Okay, so basically instead of going this way and subtracting across, we're going to work backwards and across this way just to make sure everything looks good going down, everything looks good going across. So total deductions 470.93 plus total earnings 1933.32 equals total earnings 2404.25. And then when that equals, then we'll still give it that double roll, just like we did in our journals. Okay, so that's the proving and ruling. All right, so when we've done this, you know, we take this net pay right here, whoops, we take this net pay and we write a check for that. We write a check to a payroll account, and then from that payroll account, we write checks to each individual person, okay? Because if we were to write a check out of our regular checking account, then we would have to have a journal entry for each individual person's name and an account for them, and we don't want to do that, right? So we kind of group it and lump it into payroll, and then we move that money to another account and pay out of that account. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next section. But then we also have to pay. I mean, when we say that we've pulled out this money from our employees' checks, that becomes a liability to us. It is now a payable from us to the IRS, right? Okay, so payroll taxes are a liability. Okay, we're going to see some of those new accounts that we saw on that list: federal income tax payable, Social Security tax payable. Okay, just like it was an accounts payable when we owed somebody money, we now owe Social Security, the IRS, Medicare, we owe them money. So those are now liabilities for us. Okay. All right. So earnings records. An earning record is, I wish I hadn't written that there. Okay. We're going to have one earning record for each employee. Okay. It records all the details of what's gotten pulled out, what they've earned. Okay. And this information is important for the employee and the IRS. And I also want you to notice that it says for the quarter ended. Okay, so we're working on these payroll records by a quarter. What does a quarter mean?
3 months.
Right, every 3 months, right? So if you take 12 months of a year, you divide it into 4, you got January, February, March is quarter 1, right? April, May, June is quarter 2, right? So quarters are January through March, April through June, July through September, and October through December. Okay, so if this, let's see, it tells us enter July 15th payroll. Okay, so if this is the July 15th payroll, what quarter is this paycheck in? Right, so it's going to end in September, right? It's the July through September quarter. It's going to end, so it says earnings record for quarter ended September. What's the last day of September? Is it a 30 or 31? Y'all remember how I told you how to figure that out? I mean, unless you want to go to your phone and calculate it, right?
30.
It's 30. Okay, do y'all remember me showing you the knuckles though? Did I show you the knuckles? All right, so on the knuckles, if you start, just hold your hand as a fist and start with January. Okay, January's on the knuckle. Okay, every knuckle is a 31st. All right, so January, and then in between is February. That's not a 31st month. March is a 31st month, it's on the knuckle. April is not. May is. June is not. July is. So is August. So you're going to hit the last knuckle twice. September's not. October is. November's not. December is. Okay? So if you don't want to take the time to go look it up on a calendar, that's how you can remember which ones have 31 and which ones do not. Use the knuckles. All right. It tells us our employee is where's his, I say Johnson, where's his first name? Oh, up here. Okay. So we're looking at Edward Johnson. I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit, I think. Okay, Edward Johnson. His employee number is 2. His first name is Edward. Middle initials P. Marital status is M. Withholding is 2. So all of that can come from this up here. The rate of pay, this stuff right here is going to have to come from your book. So it tells you that he makes $15 per hour. His social security number, remember that's important for the IRS or an employee identification number. I think it's called an ITIN, ITIN. And his position is a sales manager. Okay. And then it just says, oh, here we go. We also need this information. Okay, I'm going to show you this in the book. So it talked about him, his rate per hour, his social security number. He's a sales manager. And then it says accumulated earnings at the end of the second quarter are 17,218. So that means January through the end of June, he's made this much. Okay, that's important because we're continuing on with a new quarter here. So that number, 17,218, is going to start us off right here. 17,218. Okay, so that came from the book, but it's basically January through June's pay. That's what the accumulated earnings is. All right, so now we've got the new quarter. We're going to put in July 15th, and then we're going to continue this with the running total. So all we have to do is copy the information from up here to down here. Okay, so for the period ended July 15th, okay, like I said, we're just pulling the numbers from up here. $1,320, $1,250, $1,432.50, 61, 88.82, 20.77, 60, 15.
Ms. Martin, can you bring the page a little bit down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so super, super important that you listen and pay attention and really see this, okay? Remember that I said for net pay, nobody cares, right? Nobody cares except Edward about the net pay. That the IRS and everybody in the banks, everybody else cares about total earnings. So this running total out here is about total earnings. Okay, so this is where it gets confusing because of the layout. When you are continuing to add to this number to figure out, this was January through June, so now we're going to add July 15th paycheck, but we cannot add net pay. We have to add total earnings. Okay, and you just, because it's right there, you want to add it, but you can't. Okay, because nobody cares about that except Edward. Everybody else cares about this. So we're going to take 17,218 plus 14,3250 to get the new accumulated earnings. All right. And that's just a mistake I see a lot because it's right here and you just want to add those two, but you can't. Okay. So for this right here, I draw a little line, big star. You want to add total earnings. Okay, so 17,218 plus 14,3250. So 18,650.50. Okay. I have a note there. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about net pay except Edward. Okay. We're actually kind of running out of time. Let's keep going. So flip over to 12.4, and there's a couple of pages to 12.4. We want to look at page 318. Okay, so like I said before, when we're journalizing, we don't want to have an account, a separate chart, an account in the chart of accounts for each individual person. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write one check from our main account to a separate payroll account. Okay, and that's what's going to go into our journal. And then out of that other account, then we'll write each individual person's check. Okay, and it just kind of, it's another check for fraud. You know, if somebody tries to change the dollar amount on a check, you know, they can't accidentally get or purposely accidentally get, you know, an extra $1 million out of your business account, right? Because there's not that much money in that payroll account. Okay, so in 12.4, it's just talking about writing those checks. But this one is, we are writing a separate, we have a separate payroll account. And this is to kind of protect and control our main accounts. Whoops, y'all can't see that. Okay, so we're just writing a description here that this is the July 15th, 2021 payroll. And then we need a total. And this amount is the total from the payroll register. For that pay period. So if we went back to the payroll register for July 15th payroll, this is the amount that we would want to write the check for. So 1933.32. Okay, and it's the net pay total from the payroll register. Okay, and then we would write this check. Y'all remember how to write a check? Kind of not, maybe not really. Date, what's it for? Now this one is just going from a general account to the payroll account. So this check's a little different. It's a little weird, right? But the amount is 1933.32. I don't know why they had a different format here. It's for the 15th. We have to spell out the amount, 1,933 and 32/100. It does tell us in our book that we are transferring it to the first community bank to our payroll account. And then the number. Okay, and so this is a check going from our general account to the payroll account. And of course, then we have our student signature. Oops.
Miss Martin.
Yeah.
I was wondering, where do you get the account, the payroll account number?
It'll be in the book.
Okay. Okay.
They'll give that to you.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So the next part of 12.4 is basically writing the check to the person. All right. So there's a lot of blanks on here, but basically all these numbers are almost given to you, right? So all of the numbers that you need for Edward are right here or right here, right? So what's his gross pay, what's his overtime pay? You don't have to go look it all up again. You've already got it. You just got to transfer it over here. Then you've got to take his old, add it to his new to get the new year to date, and then write the check. So we'll do this together on Wednesday, but those of you guys that have the SAT, I'll probably record it if you want to go back and look at it. But like I said, it's pretty much just transferring the numbers over into this format and writing the check to Edward for his paycheck. Okay. All right, so any questions? All right, so those of you that I'll see on Wednesday, we'll go through this 12.4 together. Then you can work on the on your owns. I want the on your owns complete basically by the end of day Thursday, so that you guys, that are taking the SAT have time to go through that. Like I said, it shouldn't take too long because you're just copying the numbers and writing the check. Okay, any questions? I was hoping to get through both of them today, but I didn't. I should have worked a little bit faster. Okay, we good? All right, I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you guys. All right, that's it. We're good. If you have missing work, you better take care of.
Miss Martin,
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could see 12-3, the work together again. I just want to know if I didn't miss a blank.
Let me turn the share back on. Okay, is there a part I need to zoom in?
Oh, there you go. For the pay period, I just missed the date. I was wondering why it was blank.
Okay.
And I think, so for 12-4 work together, we don't put like the account and title, we just filled in the description, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you. That was it.
Okay. Okay.
Have a great day.
You too. Okay, Christian, are you there?